Hi everyone from Oceanside Yoga. Yeah, I just want to note on this stressful time. I know it's very emotion and anxiety ridden, and there's a lot of fear, and reasonably so. We're settling into a very unknown territory, and we just have to do what's called upon us as best as we can. So staying centered and being grounded is really important at this time, that we continue to be present in our actions. And even though we don't have control over what's happening, we have control over our actions. And we can take action to stay home. We can take action to support each other. We can take action to be kind. So all the more reason to invite meditation, yoga practice into your life, and look after yourself and look after each other. So namaste. I look forward to our in-person classes when we can get there. Welcome. Thank you for joining this practice. A bolster and a blanket might come in handy, but you can use whatever you have on hand at home. You're welcome to modify the practice as you see fit. There are a number of sun salutations in our standing sequence. Feel free to modify those as well, and take breaks when you need to. If you need to come into a child's pose or some other kind of resting pose at any time, I welcome that. Really listen to your body. This practice is intended for anyone who's interested, but particularly if you've had a bit of yoga experience, this will be helpful. I hope you enjoy the practice and be well. Now, either finding a comfortable seated position, if so, preferably with your hips a little higher than your knees, or you can lay down on the floor, just getting comfortable there. Wherever you choose to be, make it a position that you feel you can relax in, and spend some time noticing your breath coming and going. Let your focus rest on the waves of breath. Feel the breath entering through your nose. Observe where it goes in your body, letting yourself fill with the inhales. Feeling the breath moving through your nose as it exits. Notice your body emptying. Breath cool on the way in, warm on the way out. Allowing yourself to be present here. Centered and grounded. And letting the whole practice come from the waves of our breaths. So if you're not already on your back, come and lay down. Get comfortable. Relax your arms. Relax your neck, your head, your hips. Feel yourself giving your weight into the earth. As you're ready, you can bring your knees into your chest and just begin to rock from side to side. And let your body be massaged here on the floor. You can allow your head to turn with you. Just see how far it feels comfortable to roll to each side and play with this. Begin circling your knees as you rest at center, opening the knees, letting them find each other in circles, reversing the direction as you're ready, doing a few more. Let your left leg stretch out while you bring your right knee in towards you, knee to chest, holding with both hands, soft shoulders, relax through your neck. Feel your breathing. When you're ready, you can move on to the other side. Settling here, allowing the breaths to fill and empty the shape that you're making. Let yourself be fully present here. Relax wherever it's unnecessary to have tension. Give yourself permission to let go. Bringing your feet to the floor, we'll begin to sway the legs with feet wider than hips, arms to the sides. You might let your head turn the opposite way of the knees, or keep it centered. Leaning your legs to your right, you can reach your left arm overhead. Stay with your breath. Keeping the legs over to the side, let's bring that left leg across. Your right hand might take hold of the left leg. This will be a deeper twist. And letting go of the leg, come back to swaying your legs, arms wide to your sides. Relax through your head and your neck. Let your movements feel free. Taking your legs over to the left side, settle in here. Arms can still be wide, you can rest them there. Or you can take that right arm and reach it overhead along the floor. Filling and emptying from your side body through your hip. Let that right leg pass over the left, and the left hand can help to gently hold the leg if you wish. Also welcome to do another twist of your choosing, or support where you need support. As we do these twists, try to stay heavy through both shoulders. If your right shoulder was lifting off here, you might back off a little bit. Always go back to some dynamic moving, of swaying, anytime. And when you're ready, you can begin to undo, come back to center, feet on the floor. And begin to move the head a little, just like nodding, like saying yes. Gently tuck your chin in, and then gently lift the chin, tilting back. Repeat this a couple of times. And then return your head to center. Bring your knees to your chest. And again, just rock a little, side to side. And roll right over to one side. And come on up. We'll find our way onto all fours. If you need a blanket underneath your knees, please go for it. Let's do a little cat and cow type movement. So inhaling, extending, exhaling, flexing, or you can just take your time with the breath here. So as you lift your head and your tail, maybe it takes several breaths. And as you start curling under, go slowly, feel each segment, each vertebra in your spine. So that inhale initiates the lifting of the head and the tail. And then maybe the exhale initiates the curling under. Try and stay long through your elbows here. Okay, you can repeat a few times. And then sit back into a child's pose with your hips heavy over your heels. You can extend your arms forward or reach them out in front of you. We're going to rise up here and we're going to just lower down to the floor. As you get down there, roll your shoulders back, extend, lift up, head up, hands up maybe, and then go back. So sitting back, hips heavy over your heels, arms stay forward in the position you started with. And then we're coming back up, Coming down, try to get your pelvis and your chest to the floor around the same time. Do a little cobra or some kind of extension. Your hands might lift up. And then going back. If you're feeling up to it, let's try for 2 more. So as you come on your belly, firm your legs, draw your shoulder blades down your back, roll your shoulders down a little, keep the feet on the floor, lift from your upper back muscles, your chest lifting, head can look a little forward along the floor, hands might lift before going back again into child's pose. If you need to, rest here or do 1 more. Coming back to rest, this time in child's pose. You can bring your hands together out in front of you, palms together, bend the elbows, or take a child's pose of your choosing. And then we're going to take a wide leg child's pose, slipping the left arm under the right. Either put your right hand under your head, looking to the right side of the room, or stretch the right arm long and put the forehead onto the floor. Staying here, breathing in between your shoulders, stretching the arms gently, hips heavy over heels. And we're going to change sides here. Breathe wide into the sides of your waist, between your shoulders. When you're ready to come back to center, arms can stay long out in front of you. You might choose to tent your hands, so fingertips to the floor, palms lifting, active arms, elbows raised. About widening through the shoulders, we'll walk our hands back here. Coming into our first down dog, bringing your hands to the floor, lift up off your knees, stretch back here through your hips. You might choose to walk it out on the spot here. Try sinking your heels in towards the floor, press through the heels of your hands, widen the shoulder blades. You can start to walk forward as you're ready, coming into a forward fold. And then rising up, reaching your arms up if you wish, open the front of your body, and then bring your hands into heart. Come on down to your knees. I've got a bolster between my seat and my heels. And then stretch your arms out in front of you. And we're going to just start with some movement of the wrists, lifting the hands, fingers upward, letting the fingers move downward. So extending and flexing. You can do that a few times. We're going to extend and flex those wrists. Draw the backs of your hands to your forearms, really noticing how far you can bring your fingertips up towards the ceiling. And then begin to do some circles. Circling the wrists and even the elbows. Do this both ways a few times, just loosening things up. Bring your fingers together then and just begin to rotate the wrists. So fingers are interlaced, rotating your wrists. Try the other way. And then undo the hands and reverse with the other index finger forward. Do some wrist play here. I'm just circling the wrists both direction a few times. Give your wrists and arms a good shake out. Roll your shoulders a few times. Bring your arms above you and begin to open and close the hands rapidly. You're welcome to open your arms a little wider, or like a Y or a T, or continue to hold them up. See how many times you can do this. Coming up onto your knees, interlace your fingers, press the palms away, push out through one heel of the hand and then the other. You can reverse if you wish, the interlace of the fingers and repeat. And then again, shake out. And then gently press one wrist through flexion. Try the other side gently. And then put your palms together. Slide one hand up. Press a little bit on the fingers. Try the other side. Push back with the hand that you're pushing into. And then release, shake out. And then fingers together again. Interlace palms face you. We're going to lean back on our knees. So stay really tall here as you lean back a little bit. Back up to the top. So no change from knees to top of the head. You're just moving at your knees, and this is going to help you switch on your core. It's going to fire up the quads here, and it's going to help us be open through the hips here. So there's no change. It's not like you're trying to sit back on the cushion. Just do this as long as it feels comfortable in your knees, and only as far as you feel safe and at ease. Okay, and then when you're ready, you're going to take a moment to come up to standing. Let's start some chair pose or squats. So feet hips distance, arms going forward as your hips sit back. Arms go back a little as you stand up. Open those hips again. Repeat this. Inhale to sit, exhale to stand. Breathe wide into the sides of your waist. And standing, inhale the arms up towards the sky. Look back just gently if you can. And then circle your arms around you. Exhale, come into a fold, knees bent, elbows on your knees, lengthen your spine. You can stay here or fold forward, dropping your head. Begin coming up through halfway, bringing elbows on knees, lengthen the spine. And then standing all the way up, you can circle the arms around, arms above you, maybe look up or back slightly, hands coming down by your sides, roll your shoulders. A few times in each direction. And then with one arm just circling out to the side, little elbow rolls, elbow is bent, wrist is soft. Don't need to go any higher than the shoulder. You can reverse that when you're ready. And then you can make those circles even bigger if it feels good, stretching through the elbow. Full arm circles, a few in each direction. Lengthening through your spine. Bring the arm to your side, relax for a moment before we do elbow rolls on the other side. Nice soft arm. Loosening up around the shoulder. Go both ways. Feel the shoulder blade moving. And again, you can take those into full circles if it's feeling good. 3 or 4 in each direction. And then again, just come to standing for a moment and take notice of how you're feeling. Let's go back into the chair squats. Inhaling as you sit, arms forward, exhaling standing. Repeating a few of these. Nice free arms. We're going to hold. You can take your hands in prayer to your forehead or some other position that you prefer, nice and long through your spine, lengthen through your tail, top of the head, shoulders down, dropping away from the ears. Good, and then you can come forward when you're ready, just hang, relax your head, or modify elbows over knees if this is not feeling good for your back. Stretch out here. Make sure the weight is a little bit forward over your feet so that your hips stay over your heels. Nice loose shoulders. Relax here. Okay, coming back up through halfway, you can reach your arms up. You can either stay looking forward or look up towards the sky. Arms coming down. I'm going to come back into those chair squats. And this time maybe taking the arms higher. Same breath, breathing in as you sit. Breathe wide across your hips. Exhaling, standing. We'll come into hold again. This time maybe arms up for a full chair pose. My feet are about hips distance apart. You might prefer having them closer. Either way, keep the knees tracking with the toes, reaching out through the arms. Try to relax through the shoulders. And then we'll fold forward. And again, just relax. And I'm taking my hands around my calves in this picture, but you don't have to do that. You can simply hang forward if you choose. another option here is one hand to each elbow, just hanging the head in between the arms. And you can reverse the arm hold, the opposite arm in front. Hang for a few moments before bending your knees, rising up, tall spine, arms can come up, and then bringing hands into your heart. Coming up to the top of your mat, let's begin some hip hinges. Arms by your sides, bring the arms up then, lengthen, stretch open, and then as you come down, fold at your hips, maybe 30-45 degrees, and then back up, and again, maybe getting a little closer to 90, arms by your sides if you like. Make sure there's no rounding of your back. You're staying really long through your spine, using the front of the body to support the back body. You can do this a few times. On the next one, we're going to go forward. We'll come down into a forward fold. Nice, hang your head for a moment. You might even tuck your chin in a little. And then lengthen through your spine again to your halfway. Fold again. As you lengthen, hands can come up your shins. We're going to step the left leg back behind us, come into a lunge. Arms can come up skyward, maybe looking up back a little. Hands to the floor by your foot. Let's step back to downward facing dog. Lengthen here. Try to widen through your shoulder blades, outwardly rotating your arm bones. Grounding through your feet. Breathing wide into your sides. We're going to come down onto our knees, do a little bit of cat and cow. Inhaling, extending, exhaling, rounding. I'm curling my toes under here. Inhaling, stretching my toes back out along the floor. Exhaling, rounding, curling toes under. Just making this a fluid movement. Continue. Extension, head lifts, tail lifts. Flexing, tucking tail. And then let's curl on up here into down dog. Just feeling really solid here. Lengthening through your sitting bones, down through your feet. You might be walking it out a bit. We'll walk forward, up towards our hands, lengthen back to the halfway. Folding forward, release your head. And then as you're ready, come all the way back up to standing, lengthen up, maybe look up, and then hands to your heart. And settle here for a few breaths. And then we're going to repeat on the other side. Inhale, arms up, lengthen, open, exhale, come down. Hang your head, relax. Coming up to halfway. And then we're going to step our right leg back this time. Arms coming up skyward, lengthen, stretch, lunging. Hands coming down to the floor, moving back into a downward facing dog here. Encourage your breath wide, your shoulders wide. You can bring your feet together, bend your knees, and then let's tip over a little to the left side, stretching the right side of the waist, back to center, tipping the hips to the left side, stretching the right side of the waist. Back to center, and over to the left, through center, over to the right. Back to center. Take your feet wider than hips distance and step them in a little bit towards your hands, just a little bit of a shorter dog. Try stretching here. And then step your feet back a little bit. We're going to come to a plank position, down onto our knees and just lower to the floor. Roll your shoulders back. And then from there, try a little extension, just like we were practicing earlier. Moving back into a down dog. Stay here for a few breaths. Feeling really solid, pressing through your hands. From hands to shoulders to hips. Nice long lines. Press through your toes, lift your heels, and then lower your heels. Do this again, lifting the heels and lowering. Try this a few times. Getting strong through your feet. And then with your heels down, try lifting your toes towards your shins, lengthening the backs of the legs a little further. Walk forward when you're ready, up towards your hands. Lengthening to halfway, your knees can be bent. Hang forward, hang your head, tuck your chin slightly. Hold here for a couple of breaths. Release your head. Relax fully. Use a breath in to initiate coming up through halfway, all the way to standing. Arms rise, and then hands can come to your heart. Let's settle here. Just notice. Letting go of any tension that isn't necessary. Releasing your arms. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, arms circle around. Come down, folding, hang your head. Come on up halfway. And step back with the left leg. Arms coming up towards the sky. Coming down, press the hands to the floor, step back, dog. From your dog, come to your knees. Lower your chest and your pelvis at the same time. Lengthen the feet. Lift up, little extension, maybe hands lift. Hands to the floor, move back to down dog. Lift your left leg skyward, step it through, lunging the other side. Arms coming up skyward, maybe looking up. Hands to the floor, stepping up. Come to halfway, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale as you're ready, rising all the way up through the top. Lengthen, open the hips, open the chest. And exhale, come right back down. Folding. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, step your right leg back. Arms up, inhale. As you exhale, hands to the floor, stepping back. Inhale, down dog. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, come to the floor. Chest and pelvis, same time. Lifting up for some extension. And then rolling back into down dog. Your right leg can lift skyward, inhaling. Exhale, step. Inhale, arms up. And with your breath out, bring the arms back down. Step up halfway, inhaling. Exhaling, folding, and just hang here for a couple of breaths. And when you're ready, inhaling up to standing, exhale, arms into your heart. Just holding there. Relax. And again, let's prepare. Take the arms down and inhale, arms up. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lengthen through halfway. Exhale, step your left leg back. Come to lunging. Your knee could stay off the floor this time if you choose. Arms up, inhaling. Exhale, bring the hands to the floor. Stepping back, inhale to dog. Take an extra breath here. And when you're ready, exhale, knees down, come down to the floor. Inhaling into your cobra or some extension. Exhale, push right back into down dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Step it through, exhaling. Use the inhale to lift up through the arms. And as the exhale comes, come back down, hands to the floor. Stepping your right leg in, inhale halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Hands up, look up if you can. Exhale, come right back down. Folding, hang the head. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, step your right leg back. Inhale, arms up through your lunge. And exhale, come down. Stepping your left leg back, inhale to dog. Take an extra breath here. And as you're ready, Exhale, come down to the floor. Inhaling up into your cobra or extension. Exhaling, moving back into downward facing dog. Right leg is going to lift, inhaling. Exhaling, stepping through. Inhaling, coming up into lunging. Exhaling, coming down. Inhaling, left leg steps in, come up halfway, and then exhale, drop the head, fold forward. You can put your hands underneath your feet this time if you like. A little bit of pressure up to the wrists to help stretch them out. Relax your shoulders now. Let your head hang and curl your chin in. Coming up through standing, inhale, arms up, exhale, hands to your heart. Next, we're going to create a mandala. We'll be changing the orientation from front to back of the mat. With an inhale, bring your arms up towards the sky. With an exhale, fold forward. With an inhale, lengthen to halfway. And then exhale, put your hands on the floor, move back into a plank position. Let's just hold this plank for a moment. Get steady. Feel solid. Press through your hands, widen your shoulder blades, long through your spine. And then come down onto your knees, and again, just lower to the floor. Make sure to roll your shoulders back again, and then lift through your chest, your head. Lower your forehead. Let it kiss the mat before coming back up. Maybe lifting the hands again. Hands to the floor. We're going to push back into down dog. Breathe wide, roll the shoulders wide. Bring the left leg skyward, stretch through the foot. And step that left leg forward, coming into a warrior one. Back foot turned out only slightly, facing forward, roll the shoulders, and then bring the arms up, lengthen your gaze. And then bringing your hands out to your sides as you shift your feet for warrior two. Back foot opens 90 degrees. Right hand comes down, left arm reaches up towards the sky. And then bring the left arm down over the left knee. Right arm comes up and over. Coming back through warrior two. Make sure that that left knee points with the second toe. Now turn to face forward. Toes go forward. Hands to your hip, feet in parallel. Lengthen through your spine, roll your shoulders back, and then tip forward from your hips. So hip hinging again here. Hands can come to the floor, just hang. Some options, you could always hold one hand to each elbow again, or put your elbows over your knees. Take a few deep breaths in our wide-legged forward fold. Try to keep your hips in line with your heels here. In other words, don't let your hips start to move too far back. So a little bit of weight in the fronts of the foot will help you. Pull up on your quads, be strong in your legs. This is active, and this will help us as we come up through halfway. And then you can put your hands to your hips, and using your breath, come all the way up through the top. Lengthen through your spine, drop your tail. We're going to turn to the other side. So right knee turns out, left foot might turn in a little bit. Make sure the right knee follows the toes. Left hand down, right arm reaches up towards the sky. And then right hand comes down on the right leg, left hand up, maybe over the ear. Good. Coming out of that, you're going to step the left leg in a little bit, turn it forward. Remember, it's just slightly outward rotated here. Roll the shoulders. This is our warrior one, forward facing warrior. Arms can come up, maybe look up, drop the tail, all the same. Hands can come down into your heart, coming up onto the toes of your left foot. Step or walk your way up towards the top of the mat. Inhale the arms up skyward. Exhale, fold again here. Hang your head for a moment. Before inhaling up halfway, we're stepping back into plank again. Make sure this plank feels really solid. Firm up your quads, and then come down onto your knees. Drop your feet to the floor. Heavy and strong legs. They're part of your extension work here. So you're using your glutes, your hamstrings, quads are engaged. Try a couple of extensions, shoulders are rolled back. And then with hands pressing to the floor, move again to stretch out in downward facing dog. You can walk it out here on your feet if you wish. Just sink those heels heavy. Let your head really hang in your down dog. Relax. Bringing your right leg skyward, stretch it up towards the sky, then step it through. Let's go back into our warrior one. Bringing the arms up, and then opening into warrior two. Make sure your right knee tracks with your toes. Left arm comes down on your side, right arm up towards the sky. Right arm down onto your right knee, and left arm can come up. Nice long line for side angle. Facing forward here. Feet are parallel with the outside edges of the mat. This time you might take your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, make sure the spine stays long as you go forward. And once your head is hanging, you might feel like your arms begin to move a little more towards the floor. Don't be pushy. Be really gentle with your body here. And keep those legs engaged at the same time. Your quads are gently pulling up on your kneecaps here. And then as you're ready, coming back up towards the top. And opening that left hip outward, knee over heel. Right hand comes down on your side. And through our exalted warrior. And then into Parsvakonasana or side angle. We're heading back into warrior one. So lift up your right foot, bring it in a little bit, turn slightly forward, forward facing warrior, warrior one. Arms coming up. And from here, hands to your heart, and either stepping up or walking your way up to the top. Take a moment, settling here, letting go of anything no longer serving you. Grab your bolster and find your way into a seated position with your feet wider than your hips. Take your hands to the back of the bolster, lengthen through the chest as you reach one arm up, and then bring it down. The other arm up, and set it to the back of the bolster again. Try this on each side a couple of times, lengthening through your spine. And then try both arms. Breathing deeply. As your arms come down, walk your feet together, let your knees drop open. Press the feet into each other as you lean forward from your hips. This is okay in your spine. Curl in. Allow your body to flex. Relax your shoulders. Feel the breath filling and emptying the shape that you're making. And let yourself linger here a little longer. Coming back up, walk your feet back onto the floor wider than hips. Again, repeating the arm movements, raising one arm up skyward and bringing it down. Breathing in, the other arm goes up. Continue breathing as you switch sides. Let the breath in and out like waves. See if you can again bring both arms up and hold for a moment. Bringing your arms down, walk your feet together, knees together, and cross your arms over your knees. Just curl in for a moment. Now slowly unwind, sitting up. I'm coming off of the bolster here and placing the bolster now underneath my knees, but you might also want a blanket underneath your seat. Begin to lean forward, bringing your chest towards your knees and curl in. The support underneath our knees, this takes some of the pressure off the hamstrings, and you might feel you can go a little deeper. Let's try the arm raises here. One arm up and then the other. Continue breathing. Both arms up if you can. Breathing, letting them come down and then coming forward once again. Just let your hands rest where it's most comfortable. I've got my hands around my feet, but You could use a strap if you like, if you have one. And then we can try moving the bolster out. Rock on the hips a little bit, lengthening, coming up onto your sitting bones. And again, see if you can raise one arm and then the other. This might not feel appropriate for everyone. You may need to be sitting on your bolster. You could use this time to do something of your own choosing. From here, we could try another forward fold. You could bring your hands underneath your knees, curl in so that your arms support your knees. Or again, take your arms forward down around your feet or onto a strap or something. Lengthening still through the crown of your head. Come on up as you're ready. Tall spine. Open your legs wide. Put your hands behind you and rock forward a little bit on your pelvis. Get right up on your sitting bones. And bring one hand to your side and the other overhead. And go from side to side a few times. Lengthening the sides of your waist. As you do this, keep your sitting bones heavy. Allow your shoulders to roll back and down. Nice and long through your spine. Continue to allow yourself to be guided by your breath, and you can stay over on one side for a moment. Repeat that on the other side. You might notice that one side feels a little tighter. It needs a little bit more lengthening. You need to soften into it a little more. Just enjoy moving your body. And when you're ready to come to center, try leaning forward. So moving with a tall spine, think of rolling forward from your hip joints. You could put your bolster underneath your elbows, or you could lower your elbows right to the floor, if you can do that comfortably. Or if you're really comfortable there, you might take your arms out and reach for your feet. And you could either put a bolster or a blanket under your head here if you're close to the floor, or maybe your head will come right down and rest for a moment. We've had quite a bit of warm up with hip hinging, so this might be appropriate for you to explore going deeper, and if not, again, modifying, doing something of your choosing. And then slowly roll your way up. Use your hands to guide you. Bring your feet to the mat. Put your hands behind you with your fingers facing forward, about hips distance apart. We're going to start to raise the hips. So have your heels underneath your knees, hips distance, raise the hips, and then go ahead and put them back down. And try this a few times. Make sure this is okay in your shoulders. Maybe each time you'll go up a little higher. You can keep your gaze up towards the ceiling and your head in line with your spine. If you have tilted your head back, curl your chin in and then slowly lower your hips. Bring the soles of the feet out in front of you, generous bound angle, and lean forward. You can always put something underneath your seat here. Relax, folding. Another option is taking one hand under each leg and placing your hands around your feet, just gently encouraging your way a little deeper. And then unwinding up tall, you can put your hands behind you and lengthen the chest open again. And then lean over to one side. Gently curl your chin in. Take a few breaths. Come back up, open the chest. And then go on over to the other side. Curl your chin in gently. And then again, coming back up. Lengthen through the spine. And come to lay down with your bolster at your side. Feet on the mat, knees bent. Heels underneath your knees for bridges. Let's just start nice and slow here, doing a few rocks of the pelvis. So as you breathe out through your nose, you could curl your tail under. As you breathe in through your nose, tilt your tail forward. And you might just actually shuffle your feet a little bit forward while you do this. Just notice how it feels, how close or far you want your feet from you. Notice how your neck responds to the movement of rocking your pelvis. Coming to center, heels now underneath your knees. Bridging here, we'll just start to lift our hips a little and put them back down. And then again, repeat lifting the hips a little higher and then rolling your way through the spine sequentially back down. And make sure there's lots of space behind the neck as you repeat this, getting a little higher each time. Next time you come up, you could hold, pressing through your shoulders, pressing down into the shoulder blades here. And as you start to release back down, release that pressure. And next time, you're going to take your bolster underneath your pelvis and make sure that it's high enough that it's also under a bit of the low back so that it feels like you're in a half supported bridge here. Just relax through your shoulders and your arms. Let yourself settle. We're going to bring the right knee to the chest and the left leg out long, so the left leg is heavy into the floor, and just gently opening through the front of that left hip with the raise of the bolster. If this doesn't feel appropriate for you, you can always just put your feet back on the floor and remove the bolster. You need a chest without. And just gently holding here so that your arms are relaxed. Now bring your right arm out to the side. Guide your right leg over into a twist. You could either stay and hold or rock in and out. Allow your head and neck to feel relaxed. We'll repeat both of those on the other side. So placing your feet down, check your bolster feels comfortable and hasn't shifted. And bringing your left knee to your chest, your right leg long as you're ready. You might find this easier to wrap your hands underneath your knee if there's any discomfort in the knee joint. Right leg growing heavy. Feel the breaths moving in and out of you. And then taking your right hand around your left leg, your left arm out to the side. Let's take another twist here. Again, you might rock in and out. Be sure that this feels comfortable. Linger here with your breath, letting go of anything no longer needed, anything no longer serving you. Come back to the center and place both feet on the floor, heels under your knees. Bridge your hips up and away from your bolster and remove the bolster to one side. Lower your hips slowly and stretch out your legs, noticing how this feels. Coming to rest on a bolster, opening the heart in a heartbed-like position. You can either place a blanket underneath your hips, have your feet on the ground and knees falling in towards each other. If there's any discomfort in your head or neck, I would suggest taking another blanket or a block or a pillow, placing it underneath the bolster to elevate the head end of the bolster. This may be where you choose to stay. Or you could roll up your blanket, roll it tightly, and make sure that it's long enough. Notice I have a good 2 feet here at length. and place it around your ankles as you lay back so that you could open your knees and have enough support underneath your ankles. Let your arms feel heavy. Let your heart feel open. Enjoy your breath. Give thanks to your body. Enjoy this moment. Again and again, each moment brand new. Allow yourself to feel centered, present, awake and aware, and yet so relaxed, supported by the bolster, the mat, the earth, grounded. Notice how centered and grounded you feel. When you're ready, then roll over to one side. Take a moment here before settling into Savasana. Take a moment to get really comfortable. Use any support you need under your knees or your head or a blanket on your body. Let your arms and legs begin to feel heavy. Your eyes and jaw soft. Feel the spaciousness inside your mouth. Allowing the breaths to flow through you effortlessly. Let your attention settle in your right arm. Feel the weight of your right arm. Bring your attention to the hand, the thumb, the fingers, the palm and wrist, the right forearm and elbow, upper arm, shoulder, whole right arm, heavy and relaxed. Shift your attention to the left arm. Feel the weight of the left arm. The hand, fingers, thumb, the left palm, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, and shoulder. Let the whole left arm feel heavy and relaxed. Notice your left leg and foot, the toes, the sole, heel, the left ankle, lower leg, knee, thigh, the left hip. Allow the whole left leg to feel heavy and relaxed. Notice your right leg and foot,
toes, sole, heel, the right ankle, lower leg, knee, and thigh, the right hip. Let the whole right leg get heavy and relax. Feel your low belly soft, your low back, upper back relaxed, chest soft, your neck relaxed, throat and shoulders soft, your whole body heavy and relaxed, riding on the waves of your breath.